Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our February 4th Mornings with Mayesh. It's Yvonne here, and thank you for joining us for another episode. I am here today with Sue Mcleary, an incredible designer, educator, and now author, to answer your flower questions and to talk about her new book, The Wearable Flowers. Super excited about that. First of all, I just love getting new books from all of our flower friends, and this one definitely does not disappoint. You guys, look at, let's see, hold on. I saved a page because I'm not good at flipping through. All right, look at these. Look at that, right? Over the ear earrings, amazing. So, and so many other amazing things in this book. So we'll talk more about that very soon. While we are getting started, of course, come in, say hello, let me know where you are from. Hi, Lori, I see you already. Good morning, dear. I know you're here with us almost all the time. Good morning, Huntress Florals, another very loyal listener. Thank you for coming again this morning. And I just got a message, hold on. It's saying that you guys can hear me, but the screen is white. Are you guys having that issue? Let me know. Huntress Florals, Lori, let me look at mine because Sue was saying she couldn't see me either. And yeah, I see that it is white on my end too. Don't know what that's all about. All right, let me try and refresh you guys. I don't know how to make it not white because I can see me. Sue can't see me. Let's see. Reload. All right, I am back. And let me refresh here. Well, this is not fun. I'm having a little bit of technical difficulties. Yeah, everyone's saying no screen. Hi, Joanna. Snapdragon Floral Memphis. Carolyn, yes, same. Connie says yes. Gay says it can't see me either. Well, that's not fun. All right. I am going to, okay, guys, you're going to hate me, but I'm going to restart really, really quick. Sue, I will be right back. I just restarted my computer, so hopefully that solves the issue because that's like my technical difficulty expertise. Restart the computer. So I'll be right back, guys. I'll see you soon. Hold on, give me a minute. All right, guys, I'm back. I have no idea if you can see me yet. Let's see. I'm so sorry. It's always strange when I can see everything and everything's working well on my end, but then all of a sudden people can't see or hear. All right, guys, turn it on, then off. I know, right? The white is pretty. Well, at least we have that. Let's see. All right, let me go to Facebook and see if it is better. Everything is slow because everything's reloading. Let me help stop some of it. Good, no, still can't see me. Oh my goodness. I don't know what to do about that. My screen is white. Technical difficulties. I'm showing up white. So I'm going to have beauty of live video. I can actually message Be Live, which is the platform that I use. And we'll see. So I think what I might do, since you all can hear me, but you can't see me, I'm going to bring Sue on, and hopefully you can see her because I could see her. And then we'll just kind of skip the beginning of the show where I just let everyone come on in, and you just won't be able to see me. It'll be a little strange, but I have this book here. Hopefully Sue has her book with her. We can like flip through to like for a second here, and we'll go. And the help people aren't being very helpful. So, all right. So we're gonna like motor on, right? Because this is C'est la vie. And it's just going to be a little strange. So let me bring on Sue and see if this helps. And you guys can see Sue. Hi, Sue. How are you? Oh, and I muted you. Let me start one over real quick. All right. Hi, Sue. Welcome to Mornings with Mayesh.
Hi. How are you?
I'm good. It's nothing like technical difficulties and having white screens when you're going live, but that's all right.
I've been there, sister. I understand.
Yes. Yes. The good thing is that people can hear, and let's see if people can see you at least, because that would be lovely. Otherwise, we're just going to pretend like we're doing a podcast, and it's just the way it is going to be. I think they can see you. Yeah, I think so too.
Hi, Gay. Hi, Huntress Florals.
Good morning, guys. All right. Yes, I can see you. So I'm just a big white blob. Apparently, Facebook Live doesn't like me today. I didn't have to get dressed today. You know, I could have just rolled out of bed then.
Right? Is your camera enabled on your...
Yes, it is. I can see myself. It's blue. I've restarted my computer twice. I don't know what it could be, honestly. Yeah. I feel like it's something on the platform end and not on my end because I've done this a lot of times.
I know you have.
Never had an issue. So, all right, let me kind of start from the top so that way I have a decent intro for our podcast. And let's go. All right. Welcome to our February 4th Mornings with Mayesh. It's Yvonne here, and thank you for joining us for another episode. I am here today with a very special guest, Sue Mcleary, aka Passionflower Sue. She is an incredible designer, educator, and now author to the book, The Art of Wearable Flowers. And she's also going to help answer some of your flower questions. It's going to be an exciting episode. Thanks for joining us, Sue.
Thank you for having me. Happy to be here.
Awesome. Good, good, good. So I'm going to put a link to your book. And while we're doing that, to get started, can you just tell us a little bit about yourself and your flower story?
Sure. So I think it's probably similar to a lot of other florist stories. I didn't intend to be a florist. It kind of happened to me. So this is about 15 years ago. I was making jewelry, and that was my artistic hobby at the time. And one of my friends was getting married, and she asked me to make jewelry for her and her bridesmaids, and then confided that she hadn't hired a florist and was in a real panic about it. So asked me if I could do the flowers as well. So I said yes, but I didn't think I would really, I didn't feel strongly about it one way or the other. But when I was designing her flowers, it was like an instant connection. Like I'd always been searching for something artistic, and that just instantly connected with me. I just thought like, oh my gosh, I'm supposed to be a florist. So I
Right.
really hit the ground running from there. And yeah, I mean, I haven't stopped. I just started trying to find every learning opportunity I could find. I read every book, watched every video I could watch, and just really haven't stopped since.
I love it. I love it. And it's just, I feel like it is similar to a lot of people's stories. They're kind of just an accidental florist, and then they
Yeah.
found out that they loved it, and then they learned everything they could possibly learn about it, and then just went from there. And it's,
Yeah.
I love those stories.
Yeah, I'm happy it happened that way. I don't know where I'd be right now. I might be making jewelry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, yeah, and I think you would be quite successful doing that, I'm sure.
Thank you.
Yeah, and so can you tell us how you became known as Passionflower Sue?
Sure. So I chose the name Passionflower for my studio. Um, it was one of those flowers that like really stopped me in my tracks, and that memory of like the first time I saw the passion flower growing was just a good reminder to me to try to make things that really cause you to pause and become really interested in what you're looking at. So it was just kind of a reminder that studio name, I chose it as a reminder of that moment. But I let go of the name Passionflower for my studio because I transitioned really into teaching and writing, and I thought I'd better use my own name. But Passionflower Sue stuck as my Instagram handle, so I've kept that, and I use it for my online class website name, and of course my Instagram is still Passionflower Sue. So yeah, just kind of stuck with me.
I love it. I love it. So moving on to the book, do you have a copy of it with you
I do.
nearby?
Yeah.
Can you show everyone since I can't? There it is.
Yeah.
I love it. I love the unique, I'm such a nerd, but I love the unique, like kind of 3/4 dust cover that you put on the book.
It's like a embossed, kind of textured book, and then it has this removable cover.
Yes.
So, yeah.
I love that. That was so unique. That made it stand out just immediately as soon as I opened the package.
Oh, I'm glad you like it.
So what inspired you to take on creating and publishing the Art of Wearable Flowers?
Well, again, it kind of was the universe coming to me. So I'd always wanted to write a book, and I'd started the proposal process, but I didn't conceive of this title myself. My publisher, Chronicle Books, found me on Instagram and said they were interested in wearable flowers, and they've been following along, a number of different people for years, and finally thought it was time to do a book on it and asked me if I was interested. And so I jumped on it, and it worked out really well. Yeah, it's been a really nice partnership.
Yeah, and what does that process look like? I know creating a book is a very intense and very long. Can you describe that a little bit too?
Yeah, sure. So I was lucky in that the publisher was already interested in doing the project. So I recognized that, I had it a little bit easier, but I still had to write a proposal. So that's pretty much the first step. Conceive of, the idea, and then write a proposal. And the proposal process can take a little time and research. But there's proposal templates online. So I kind of looked at other people's proposals, some examples I'd seen online, and then asked Chronicle for, what they were really looking for, what questions they had, and how I could address those. So first the proposal, and then a little back and forth with the publisher about how long it will be, what it would include, the number of photos, and so on. And then after all that was kind of discussed, there was the contract, kind of like, a bridal client, the
Right.
proposal, the back and forth, the contract, and then I had to do a sample chapter. So I sent in the sample chapter a few months after the proposal was accepted.
Right.
And then after feedback on that, and they liked what they saw, then it was a go. And I had about a year and a few months to execute the whole book. So I worked it into my schedule, which was already kind of busy. I had weddings and travel and so on. So it was like fits and starts.
Right.
Yeah.
I can imagine. It's amazing. And the finished project has turned out beautifully. And there's about 40 designs in there, right?
Yep, there's 40 designs. And then there's a section on theory, which I was really excited that they were interested in, because I didn't know how much written material they would accept. So yeah, I managed to talk them into that, and I did kind of a juicy starting section on art concepts and theory and fundamentals. So
yes,
about that part.
I love that part of the book. So you went through the book creation process. What was your favorite part of the creation process, other than obviously the design work of it? Did you?
Yeah, my favorite part, I don't know. Well, looking back, I think my favorite part is that I got to use a lot of friends. So like I worked closely with Amanda Dumichel, who I've been working with forever. So that felt really satisfying to have like something solid and concrete that's like both of our, baby. So that felt good. And then I ordered from a lot of local growers that I love. And so highlighting their farms and talking about them, and I don't know, just kind of listing inspiration that I've had over the years. There's a lot of friends' names in here, that I point to, and that feels really good.
Yeah, that's lovely. Yeah. And who is your intended audience for this book? And what do you hope that they gain from it?
Yeah. So from the beginning, there were two audiences. One, the publisher wants a broad audience, of course, and I recognize that that's valuable too. So one audience is just, the flower enthusiast, the person that might grow a little bit themselves, or have a garden, or is interested in floral design, but more of an enthusiast and not a professional. And then the other audiences, of course, are people, the florists. So there's a broad range of projects in the book. Some are really simple and like approachable for a novice, and some of them are more complex and more challenging and more interesting to, florists. So yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
And
sorry.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Well, I like the idea of those two audiences. I like the idea of thinking about those two audiences, because for the florist, the book is intended to kind of inspire and encourage people to really make, the things they want to make. And then for the general public, my intention is that they kind of see that we can do so much beyond just putting flowers in a vase, so it's kind of to spark interest and kind of encourage creativity.
Yeah, when I was reading the beginning of the book, it talked about creating what you want to see in the industry, which I think is really powerful. And I love that, because I hear people sometimes complain about, like, they're tired of seeing this or that. And I think that's just really powerful. Like, start creating what you want people to ask for, and then that's going to spark, because you guys are the creatives, right? So how they're just asking for what they see out there right now.
Yes. And, I listen to a lot of podcasts. Seth Godin is a great person to listen to. He's a marketing expert, but his whole thing is, your client doesn't know what you know. They don't know what's available and what's possible. So I think we are artists, so our job is to produce art. And if we're just working in reaction to what we're asked to do, the work will become very derivative and it will all start to look the same, so right. I really feel strongly about this. It's scary because, at one time I was I was a wedding florist. So I was working pretty much in reaction to orders, so I completely understand that. But I think it's super important for us to remember that we're the experts and we have all sorts of creative ideas that people will really say yes to if we allow them to, if we kind of take the power back a little bit and guide them towards things that we're really interested in. I think we do them a better service.
Yes. I love it. Love that.
That's my mom moment. That's when I feel like I'm momming people when I say that, but I really feel passionate about that.
Yes, of course. And we all need mothers of all different sorts and sorts of and
Right.
sizes. So it's good. So I also, in reading the foreword, our mutual friend Deborah Prinzing, she shares a quote about your philosophy when it comes to sharing ideas. And so she says, you say, it feels so much better when you let your creativity out in the world. I believe that if you do this, more will return to you. If you hold it in, you're holding so tight that you can't absorb new information. And I specifically remember having this conversation with you in Quito last year. And I think this is why so many people love you and your work. And I just wanted to give you a chance to expand on that a little bit. Because again, I think that in itself, that just a couple of sentences is so powerful and important.
Yeah. So I just think back to a time when I started to make some things that felt unique. So back in like maybe 2013 or 14, I started making some succulent jewelry, and people would see it and say, wow, that's so unique. I've never seen anything like that. And people started to ask me, friends, you should really like trademark that or patent it or try to protect it in some way. This idea is really cool. And that just felt really icky. Like,
right.
The idea that you come up with something interesting, but then you're not really supposed to share it. Or you come up with something exciting or that feels fresh, but you're so preoccupied with protecting that information and keeping it close that that you really become stifled, I think. It just really didn't feel good. It's like when you find a new TV show that you love or like a new beauty product you love or something. The first thing you want to do is share it with your friends because you're so excited about it. You want to share it. So that's how I've always felt with floral design. And I've just really learned from experience over the years that the more you give away, the more you just put freely out there, the more inspired and more alive you feel.
Right.
So new ideas will come. And honestly, nothing is new. Everybody says that. And succulent jewelry isn't new. There's people who have been doing that for years, people who haven't even been named. I've seen some really old pictures, some really interesting old pictures from like the 80s. So there really is nothing 100% new, and that's totally fine. I see you, Yvonne.
I'm talking to you and also talking to the tech people. So I just changed my camera, apparently. I have two in there, I guess. So here I am. Hi, guys.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah. So I really think it's a waste of energy to try to hold things tight to yourself. I really, really do. I think it blocks you. It blocks the creative flow.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, because you were like, I just want to put it all out there so I have room to think of something new and different. And it's stuck with me. And then I read it again in the book, and I just love it. So I want to make sure everyone knew that about you.
Also, there's a fear. Like when I did the book, I was afraid I wouldn't have enough ideas to fill the book. Like that fear that there's only a certain amount of creativity. I think that's something really to fight against. So it's just kind of a practice, the more you give away, the more you get back, and it kind of proves itself,
Right.
Yeah,
that's amazing. So now that I'm not, my brain isn't going in two different directions, I wanted to go over a couple of the things that people have already listed. So we talked about, mothering. And so Penny says, which I love it, floral godmothers and artists. I love that. You can be a floral godmother.
Yes.
I always feel like when we do these shows, I need to start making t-shirts with all the things that we all come up with. Then I want to just give a shout out to Peter, because he's not always watching. He's a busy guy here over at Mayesh, but he says good morning to you. So happy to see you on Mayesh Live. Love the book.
Thank you, Peter.
Very good. Let's see, what else did I see? Oh, Erica says she already signed up for the North Carolina workshop. Can't wait to learn a lot from Sue.
Awesome.
Thanks, Erica. Carolyn wants to know how she can order your book from London. Is that possible?
Oh, it sure is. So I have all sorts of links on my website. I think you're going to link to my website in the show notes, Yvonne?
Yeah. Yes, I will.
Yep. So there is a online bookseller called Waterstones or Waterstone. I don't remember which, but that's a UK bookseller, and there's a link to pre-order on my book page.
Very good. Yeah. So I have that link right here. I'll share that with everyone.
Also, the Amazon link on my book page is location sensitive. So for wherever you are in the world, you can press that same link and you can get the book through Amazon.
Very good. Very good. And then let's see. Someone, I think Gay, says she already pre-ordered your book. Yay!
Thanks, Gay.
It's very good. Yes. So we'll keep on moving on. And then there's just, people trying to help me with my camera issues. Thanks, everyone. I love you guys. You're so sweet to me. So understanding. Okay, so let's move on a little bit. So we have a lot of things going on between you and Mayesh. And so I just wanted to give everyone a little insider scoop since you're here. And the first thing I wanted to cover is during our keto workshop, you told all the students that you had this amazing list of reliable products that you use for your designs that don't necessarily need a water source that can last for, an event, 6-7 hours. And you sent that list over, and we created a beautiful guide that anyone can download. So I'm going to put that link too in the comments, but I just wanted to give you a chance to talk a little bit about that and how that list came about.
Sure. So like I mentioned, I've been an event florist for years. And just through experience, I would kind of find, over time, collect like a number of things that are kind of go-to materials for large scale installations, especially things that with experimentation I've seen, they perform really well out of water. And a lot of these items, when you go pick them up at the wholesaler, they're not even stored in a water source because they are so, hardy and sturdy. So over time, with teaching and so on, I just thought people keep asking this question, like, what are things that do well in large scale installations? So I thought I'd better put together a list, and that would, maybe help people. And you guys made it pretty, and that's wonderful because I'm not good at that. So
I really love that. So that's Allie and Duzzy on my team. They're amazing. And so we made it pretty. I just put the link in the comments because I'm having an issue, of course, doing that now during the show on my platform. So I'm going over to Facebook to do that. But I put in the educational downloads link, and you can find Sue's guide there. And then we have a bunch of other really great educational downloads that you guys can grab for free as well. So check that out once you get a chance after the show.
That doesn't mean that if you make an arch for a wedding, for instance, it doesn't mean that everything is designed without a water source. It's only those things that are sturdy enough to perform well. And then I think that just creates more freedom in your design work. Things happen faster and weight and less bulk. And so hopefully it's helpful.
I know it, but people love that download. It's one of our most popular ones. So
awesome.
It's helpful for sure. And then we talked a little bit when we were doing our little pregame chat. You talked a little bit about when you were more focused on your wedding work, and you used some resources to help you and figure out which flowers you wanted to use and for inspiration. Can you talk a little bit about that as well?
Yeah, I mean, I always point people towards the Mayesh website. I sound like a Mayesh commercial right now.
I know. I did not ask her to. She was like, "Can we talk about this? Because I found it so useful." I was like, "Sure."
No, I think it's really awesome. So when I was doing my proposals, especially this time of year, like January, February, March, you're writing proposals and writing ideas and trying to be creative for your, summer and fall weddings. So I would just have that Mayesh, library open, and I would just scroll through, like looking through summer, looking through fall, like reminding myself what's available, because I think it's really easy to get in this certain recipe mindset where you just have your 7 go-to flowers that you use again and again. So I just think it's awesome, and I tell people all the time.
Thank you.
There's little pictures of everything, so you can remind yourself of the cool stuff that's available. So I really love it.
And the flower library is definitely a labor of love. It is hard keeping it updated and adding new products and things like that. So we've done a lot of work on it recently. We're actually still working on it. We're trying to make sure that all of the availability data that is there, because now before you could only select by season. So now we drill down to month, and actually you can pick a date and see what's available on that actual day. And obviously everyone needs to be aware that it's a reference guide. We are in Mother Nature, and there's supply and demand issues and disasters and, freezes and early, spikes in temperature and everything. So many things can affect availability. So it's just really for a reference. But if you're trying to figure out, like, can I get this peony on, August 19th, you can actually go in there and pick your date and see what is available on August 19th. So
yeah, I'll also say that your Pinterest is really on fire. Like, yeah, like color, looking at, just as a reference for what's again available and when, and then colors that are available. The Pinterest boards are really, really useful. So
thank you. Thank you. Not a lot of people bring up our Pinterest board, so that makes me
happy. All the time too.
I love it. I love it. And then in addition to just so you guys know, I've been talking about the website a little bit, but just in case you're new or you just, happen to come on over today, and welcome if you did. And of course, welcome to everyone that comes every other week or every month that we have this show. But our website, we've been working a ton on it. So lots of new features. Obviously, our updated flower library is a big one. We now have a product planner that can do stem counting for you, and you can submit a quote to your rep. So that way it's just very seamless and easy. Wow. We have wish lists in our flower library and in Mayesh Box Lot. So the wish list can double as notifications for anything that you could buy online, and they will send you emails when there's things in the inventory. So let's say there's a really hard to get rose that I won't name. You can wish list that and get email notifications. And so that way you can get in there. Yeah, you can get in there and buy it before anyone else can get it. You can also get your invoices. So not just the online invoices, but 5 years worth of all your invoices, and you can be able to look those up. And then we are launching coupons and promos after the holiday. So only people that buy online will be able to use those. So we're really excited about all these new things, and we have more and more and more. There's so much in the works right now. It's just a really exciting time here at Mayesh. So be sure you guys check it out. Yeah, and get registered. So there's my little soapbox about Mayesh.com. So thank you for that, Sue.
I love it. When something's good, you talk about it, right?
Yes, thank you. And then another something good, some things, is our workshops that we have planned with you. So we have 2 in the US, and obviously you're coming to the Netherlands with us. We have you and Hanneke, so 2 amazing, super duper talented designers. But I just want to backtrack to the US workshop. So we'll be in San Francisco in July 1st and the 2nd, and then October 20th and 21st will be in Raleigh. So do you want to talk a little bit about what you have planned for those? Because it's our first time doing 2 full days for the workshop. Yes, super excited.
Yeah, so after talking with the team, the Mayesh team, I pretty much just said I would like to cover my most favorite topics. And we had time, to cover them because we have a 2-day workshop. So the first day will be a spiral bouquet. I'm very passionate about proper technique in your bouquets.
Yes.
So we're going to cover that. It's a really easy, useful, fundamental technique, and you can get all sorts of beautiful shapes and sprawling, cascading, beautiful bouquets with this technique. So I love that. And then I think we're covering wearables that day as well. So I'll go over a number of my favorite techniques, and then the students will get to choose one to make, one or maybe more if they have time. And then the second day, I'm teaching the anatomy of a centerpiece. So it's my go-to methods and the floral layers, I call them, that I go to when I'm designing centerpieces. So that's a really fun topic. And then we're going to cover large scale. design.
Yes, I love it. I'm super excited. It's going to be so great. I feel like our workshops are just they're very, most people say, obviously they love the designers that are there, but we literally bring in the best of the best in flowers, and a lot of flowers that you don't normally get to work on an everyday basis. So, you know, we're a wholesale florist, so we want to make sure that the flowers are on fire, and then pair that with an amazing designer and just really great atmosphere. And so we try to just kind of provide it all. And
and beautiful photos. You always have photos.
Nicole Cleary is like our girl. She comes with us to all of our workshops. She's amazing. And you get all the amazing pictures. You get your work, you get pictures of your work, and you get pictures of anything you do as a group. And it's so amazing, and it's really a worthwhile investment. If you ask me, obviously I'm biased, but we get lots of high praises for our workshop. So it's not just your average workshop, that's for sure.
Yes, I can attest to that, being part of the Quito one. Yeah.
Quito is like a totally whole new level. The Netherlands is the same thing. I mean, we put our heart and souls into this thing. There's literally months and months and months of planning. With Quito specifically, there was lots of crying because we were so invested in it and everything was going wrong, and it turned out beautifully. So then you cry again. So the Netherlands, again, I've been talking about the Netherlands for a while. We still have some seats available for that. So I hope that if you guys are thinking about coming, that you do it, because it's literally going to be once in a lifetime. You're never going to be able to do it the way that we do it. And not to be cocky, but it is what it is. So
it's true.
Yeah.
If you're going to go to Floral Mecca, you should go with like a flower family. You really should.
Yeah. That's what we are. So it is a flower family. That's for sure. Thank you. So I want to make sure that we have enough time for viewer questions. Guys, if you have questions for Sue, make sure you post them in the comments, and also be sure you stay on, because we're going to be doing a little giveaway, and you got to be here for those instructions, because, you know, who doesn't want a free one of these? I know. I was excited to get my book in the mail, and then it was wrapped beautifully too. So thank you for that. I know.
You're welcome.
How do you not want to know how to do that, right? Oh, so beautiful, so amazing. So yeah, stay on, and also keep your questions coming. So I did an email, and then we did an Instagram kind of story deal where people could post their questions. So the first one that we got was Blush Petals Flowers wants you to describe yourself in 3 words.
Curious, passionate, and maybe a little bit impatient, I guess.
I love it. Perfect. My next question is from Lori. She says, what is the best way to tell your clients to care for their body flower necklaces, wrist corsages when they're made out of succulents?
Yes. So like I mentioned, I used to make a lot of succulent jewelry, and I had an Etsy shop, and I shipped them all over the country for, weddings and events and proms and so on. And I would just tell people to keep them out of direct sunlight, really just keep them in a cool kind of dark place, not a refrigerator, but somewhere cool and dark where they won't start kind of sprouting off the bases. If you put them in a warm, sunlit corner of your bedroom, for instance, they'll start to really send roots out and grow, and the, design will change and get kind of leggy and messy. So That's all I said, because they really don't need to be spritzed, or they don't need any special care. They just need to be worn and enjoyed. And then when they, get a little bit older, you can pluck them off the base and pot them, and they'll grow. And then I just instructed, people to kind of clean off the base and wear it as a piece of like minimalist jewelry. So with each little box, I had care instructions, because people want to know how to care for it.
Right. Yeah. Lovely. Good.
Yeah.
My next question is from Carol's Floral Design. She asks, do you use body tape for some of your corsages?
Not for my corsages, but for my floral tattoos. I think maybe she's Sometimes I call them corsages, the tattoos, but yes, I use sports medicine tape, kinesiology tape. And when I do that, I make sure to clean off the skin with alcohol. That's like one important step that sometimes people might miss if they don't know otherwise. You have to clean off all the lotions and oils from the skin before you can really get a good stick with the tape.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good. Yeah. I have, oh, here, there's some, let's see, I want to do this one. Penny says, for the amaranthus model, did it itch? That was her first thought. So the picture that she's talking about was that itchy for her?
Yeah, it was. Yes, it's not about comfort, Penny. I'm sorry.
It's about the fashion.
It's about the fashion, yeah. So underneath, so the part that was touching her head didn't itch, but if she was really, cuddling with it and it was sitting on her shoulders quite a bit, it would itch a little bit.
Right.
Yeah. Those pieces are just for impact, like for runway or for editorial. They're not for comfort, unfortunately.
Right. No, but it's amazing. So I'm sure all worth it in the end.
I love amaranthus, so I can't not use it. I just love it so much, but it does cause a little bit of irritation on skin.
Very good. Yeah. Good to know. Good to know. I've never cuddled with amaranthus, so. To go along kind of with the whole wearables questioning, Leon says, how would you go about pricing your wearables?
Yeah, so I use a standard markup model, but I tweak it a little bit for the wearables. So I get my flowers in, all the flowers that go into a wearable piece, like every bunch I have to buy goes into that markup. I might only use one stem of something, but if I can't use it otherwise, if it's not for a wedding, if I'm making a one-off wearable, right, then I need to work in the cost of the bunch into my markup there.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll do my regular floral markup, and then I'll add labor, but instead of adding like the typical 30% labor I would for a centerpiece, I'll do 50% markup for the labor because it is more labor intensive.
Right.
And then I kind of see what I come up with. I figure my labor and my materials and my correct markups, and then I see where I'm at. And if where I'm at feels too low, if it feels like the artistry or the uniqueness or the, what the market will bear, if you will, is higher, then I'll mark it up higher to where I think it should be.
Very good. Very good.
It's a little bit of a not exact science, but I think it's more like it's a little art piece, so you have to price it like an artist would price an art piece, and that's kind of a foggy formula,
Yes, indeed. Okay, let's see. Again, on the wearables from Karis. For your large flower head pieces, would you mind sharing a little bit about the mechanics behind those? Love them all. Don't we all?
Oh, thank you. So there's a lot of different ways to go about it, and I do have a really large headdress in the book, so there's a step-by-step in there. But I like to start with a really reliable base, so I'll often use a headdress base that I get from like a Mardi Gras supply company.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll trim that to make it whatever shape that I need it to be. And often I'll add chicken wire structures to those bases before I start designing. And so it's really about like how much volume do you need? What kind of, what are you trying to achieve? So for the really big ones, there's usually some kind of chicken wire structure inside there. And then I might wire flowers that I need to stand up. For instance, wire them before inserting them into the chicken wire structure. So it's kind of like designing a centerpiece, but on top of a head form.
Right.
Yeah.
So
but it all depends on what you're trying to do. The smaller ones, sometimes I might make just a really beefy, traditionally wired crown and then build from that. So sometimes that crown is my structure that I start to add other things into using floral glue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in the book, you have so many examples and all different things. Like just a crown and a fascinator and like a full floral throw that I showed, and all different sorts of headpieces. So resourceful. So if you're curious on all the different ways, definitely the book is the way to go. I love the dome hat too, because I know you've done different.
That's a fun one. So that one I made with Mod Podge. Do you guys know Mod Podge, that craft glue?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I bought a really big metal bowl from like Cost Plus or Home Goods, probably Home Goods.
Right.
And then used, it's essentially paper mache, but with a craft glue. And so I made a big, heavy duty paper form using that bowl as a guide. And then that became the hat form.
Yeah, I love it. It's amazing. So cool.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see.
Oh, I see a good question.
You go ahead. Which one?
Joanna asks about Estrantia.
Yep.
Should I go ahead?
Yeah. She says, I notice you use Estrantia. I'm afraid it will shrivel up. Has it been successful for you? Any tips?
Yes, indeed. So I learned a few years ago now from Gregor Lersch and Hitomi Gilliam about what I'm calling the hydration chamber. It's a hydration step that you do to extend the life of wearable or wired flowers.
Mm-hmm.
So for Estrantia or even lilac, all sorts of wearable flowers, what I'll do is I'll get my flowers in like normal, say on a Wednesday, cut them, condition them, let them drink overnight in their water buckets. And then the next day, trim them, pop them in a Tupperware container that's been lined with damp paper towel, and then kind of tuck them into bed, with the damp paper towel, and then close the Tupperware and pop that in the cooler. So what they're doing essentially is they've already had a nice long drink through their stems, but in the hydration chamber, they're getting hydrated from the outside in. So from the pores of their petals and the pores of their leaves, they're absorbing moisture. So when they come out of the hydration chamber, they're really plump and they're really, they have a lot more longevity. And apparently this is something that people have been doing for probably 100 years, especially when like bouquets were all wired. Like think about Princess Diana's Cascade shower bouquet.
Right.
This technique was probably used because they had to make that over a number of hours, probably 12 hours it took to make that bouquet, So this is a really useful technique to, give things a longer life. Yeah.
I've never heard of a hydration chamber before.
I made a few little short videos because I get this question a lot, because I do use things like lilac in my wearables, and that's like, oh my God, what are you doing? Like, how dare you? So I made a few little short videos about the hydration chamber, and they're on my IGTV. They live there.
Very cool.
Yeah.
IGTV is where it's at.
Yep.
All righty. So let's see. From Kate, do brides ever approach you about wearables, tattoos? If so, what do you tell them about wearing the piece all day?
Yes. In fact, I had what I'd call my ideal client last June. My friend Heather, sweet Heather Ann, she's a cake baker extraordinaire. And she had a big headpiece and a matching shoulder tattoo. And she wore that thing from 10 a.m. probably till when I left the wedding at 11 p.m.
Wow.
And it was great because they had been treated in the hydration chamber.
Mm-hmm.
They were nice and plump and hydrated. And of course, I chose things that I knew would look good all day long. You can definitely wear them all day. Yeah.
I love it.
For sure.
We need more of those weddings being published.
Oh, I know.
Right?
Yeah.
That would be great. Okay, so let's see. So this is kind of going off your hydration chamber. Am I saying that right?
Yeah.
Okay. Is it necessary to have them hydrate and chamber overnight before putting in jewelry, or can we let flowers drink overnight Wednesday, arrange enjoy on Thursday, and then put in hydration chamber until event on Saturday?
Yeah, either or. You can really do it either way. I haven't seen a tremendous difference. So yeah, essentially you can condition like normal, make your jewelry piece, spray it, generously with water, tuck it into the hydration chamber, and store it already made, for sure.
Very good. Let me move on because we have a few other questions that were submitted. And this has nothing to do with wearable flowers, this question from Summy4. I would like to approach a few local businesses about selling my designs as a way to give me a little more flexibility with my schedule, but still being accessible to the public. I would, of course, provide a display cooler and serve it to keep it with fresh product. What is an appropriate percentage to offer to them in return?
Yes. So I have a tiny bit of experience with this, and I'm walking through my house so I can plug in the computer because I'm notoriously low on battery power here. Pardon me.
Oh, good.
So when I was approached to do this, it was at a bakery, and they wanted to do it kind of like a consignment store would. So they wanted 50% of the profit. Mm-hmm. Which ended up not working very well for me. But I'll also say that a bakery is not the typical place you would go looking to buy a bouquet of flowers. So I would encourage you to really think about your partnerships, carefully, and make sure people who are walking into this retail setting are kind of the people who might want to walk out with a bouquet. It just didn't make sense. The partnership that I chose didn't make much sense, and I didn't do it for very long. Yeah, I would reach out to other people that have done pop-ups and kind of see what's worked for them, and you might get some good ideas from pop-up experience.
Very good. Thank you.
Yeah. Sorry, I can't be more helpful on that.
No, I think that those are great tips. All right, so I have another question from Fionarian.bloom. Any tips on getting ranunculus to behave in floral foam? Mm-hmm. For example, not collapse and faint like a diva, which I like that part that she added.
Yeah. So I've moved away from foam. I don't use it anymore, but I know that people will take a chenille stem or a pipe cleaner and insert that up ranunculus and other hollow stemmed flowers to keep them from wilting. So, right. I might even do that in water if I have ranunculus that are especially floppy. Sometimes the stems are really, really thin though. You can get, really chunky stems, or you can get really delicate thin stems. Right. So I'd just say, maybe water is the best choice for some of those guys that like to wilt. Yeah, and then ranunculus heads are really nice and long lasting. So sometimes I'll just wire the head, and tuck that into a piece and just get rid of the stem altogether.
Yeah. Those are great tips. Yeah. They definitely can have flimsy stems sometimes. Mm-hmm. All right. Oh, I like this real quick from Gay. Let's start a hashtag, wear more flowers.
Yes.
Love it. So
yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, we're gonna do it. Penny asks, regarding hydration, have you ever used Crowning Glory?
I have. I used to use it religiously, but honestly, since kind of testing the hydration chamber, I've stopped using it because I wanted like a pure experiment, where I wasn't adding another layer to my flowers. So I've stopped using it, and I just use water, and I feel like it's really impressive how well it works. But I'm not against Crowning Glory. I think if you do use it, then go through the hydration chamber steps, and then when you're right about to deliver, open the box of your corsages, if you will, and spritz them with Crowning Glory right when you're going out the door. You don't want to prevent the surfaces of the flowers from absorbing the water. So you don't want to put Crowning Glory on, before they've had a chance to hydrate in the chamber. Chamber.
Very good. I know, and I feel like just that one section that you talked about, this hydration chamber, made it all worth it for everyone that tuned in today. Because I have another question from Roxanne, and it's a good question. She says, does the hydration chamber affect the floral glue on a wearable?
I have not seen that. I have not.
Very good. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Good. All right, I have another question about flower kind of care from Pearl about tortillas. She says, do you have to cut and wire those and when making them into a bouquet? If not, when adding other flowers, do you not want to use flower food? What are your best suggestions? I think she wants to know, what are your suggestions for using tortillas in design?
Yeah. I have not heard anything about tortillas not liking flower food. I don't see why they would not enjoy that, but it's possible. Some flowers have their own unique qualities. I use Blushing Bride tortilla all of the time.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't always wire it because the stems are nice and waxy and, sturdy. But the Blushing Bride tortilla I love, especially because it has so many heads on one stem. So often I'll take a few of those laterals off and wire those and use them in a crown or use them in a wearable. And then I'll use the rest of the stem in a centerpiece or a bouquet. So I don't know if that helps at all.
Yeah, I think that's great. I see another question here. I lost it because I was scrolling. Let's see. Oh, okay. From Tiffany. She says, Sue, could you talk about your virtual studio for a moment? Thinking about joining, but don't know if monthly or yearly would be best. And I bet people don't even know what virtual studio is. So
yeah. So about 3 years ago, I started creating online classes because I was getting so many questions, especially on Instagram, like DMs about how to make something or how to make a corsage not fall apart when it's made with glue. And I just kept getting these questions over and over.
Mm-hmm.
So I created, I think about 13 online classes that we have now, and they're long and they're thorough, and they answer all of those questions, But then with some time, I thought, wouldn't it be cool to have kind of an ongoing, more dynamic, more of a conversation, like a back and forth kind of monthly class environment. So we started the virtual studio about a year ago, maybe a little less. And what it is, it's a monthly subscription that comes with a new class, a new topic every month, and a live forum where you can ask questions and suggest future classes and that kind of thing. So it's really dynamic and interactive.
Very cool.
Yeah, every month I'll bring in either an expert or I'll jump in and answer questions and talk about interesting floral happenings that I'm part of or that I'm seeing that are interesting. So it's it's really cool. I think we have about 17 tutorials already on the library. So if you join the virtual studio, then you get access to all of those. And it takes a while to watch everything. So it's like a nice meaty, present when you join. And then every month there's a new topic added in. So yeah, it's more like interactive, specific design ideas, specific techniques, and then a lot of foundational techniques like the spiral bouquet, for instance.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I know because you're an educator at heart, what other things do you have coming up? Other events or anything else that you want to share with us?
Yeah, well, I have the Mayesh workshops that you already talked about, which I'm really excited about. I'm presenting at the Trend Summit in Vancouver in March, and that's Hitomi Gilliam's brainchild, and it's really exciting because people are encouraged to come and offer their opinions and their insights on what is coming for us or what they want to see in the floral world. So I'm really excited about that one. I have to give a keynote presentation.
Ooh.
Yeah. I'm the keynote speaker for the Slow Flower Summit. And that's really exciting to me and kind of scary, but I'm working with a speech coach, so I'll be all good.
You're going to be amazing.
Yeah, and then I have to do book stuff. I need to get out in the world and talk about the book, and so I'm just kind of planning some appearances and events around that.
Very good, very good.
Yeah.
So I included actually your Linktree link just because I feel like it has kind of everything that's going on and lots of questions about workshops and things like that. So you guys can check that out. I also saw a question about our workshops, so you can get information about that. Just go to mayesh.com. You'll see the education tab on the top. And then you'll see US workshops and the international workshops. I've also included those individual links in the comments earlier today as well. Cool. So I wanted to ask you just some kind of random rapid fire questions if you're open to that.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm sure everyone wants to know, what is your favorite flower?
Well, the one I can't pass up is Fritillaria. Every kind of Fritillaria, Persica, Meleagris. Yeah, I just love them. The Uva vulpes, the little yellow and purple guy.
Yes.
So anytime those are in the cooler, I buy them.
Super cute.
Just telling you, Peter.
And then what is your favorite color?
My favorite color is probably turquoise. Yeah.
I love
like turquoise. A rich turquoise.
Yeah, beautiful. Are you a coffee or tea girl?
Definitely coffee.
Coffee?
Yes.
Who do you admire the most?
Oh gosh. I admire so many people, but I think about Hitomi a lot because she's just an example of someone who's always been true to herself, and is patient and open and willing to kind of flex when new ideas present themselves. And I just love that. I love flexible, curious people. So she's a good example of that.
She is. What is your favorite hobby?
Well, I'm starting to paint, so I'm really enjoying it. I'm taking an acrylics class right now. So that's probably my favorite hobby at the moment. Really, floral design is my hobby and my job and my everything. So I'm trying to expand a little bit.
Good for you. I always feel like that too. Like people are like, "What do you do?" I was like, I love love my career, and I love marketing. And then I have my babies, and I'm like a soccer mom, like all the time. So that's it. That's what I do. But I feel like eventually I'll need more than that. But right now, that's all I have time for.
I'm a volleyball and a soccer mom.
Yes.
Never thought I would say that, but
me neither. I totally thought I'd be a dance mom or something. I have 2 girls, and no, we're like a sports family now, so it's been fun.
That's awesome.
Are you a morning or a night person?
Morning.
Very good. Good for us.
Right. I mean, tourists have to be morning people, right?
Right.
You miss the boat if you're not a morning person.
Exactly. What is the strangest thing you've ever eaten?
A guinea pig in Peru.
Wow.
Roast guinea pig, and it was delicious.
Okay.
Yeah.
I had a guinea pig. Her name was Roxy when I was
I know. I had guinea pigs too. So I was a little conflicted, but
yeah, it's hard. It's fun though. Exactly. Yeah. Okay. What is what's one of your weird quirks that you'd like to share with the world?
I probably have a lot that aren't very interesting, but I liked Flower Guy Brown's quirk about not cutting stems on the floor, because I absolutely hate that. I don't understand why that is a thing that people do. I don't get it, because then you have to clean up twice. It doesn't make sense to me.
I love it. What is your favorite song?
It would have to be a Prince song, and I don't know that I can pick one, but something from the Parade album probably. Maybe Sometimes It Snows in April.
Very good.
Yeah.
Are you a dog or a cat person?
Cat.
And what is success to you?
Oh gosh. I think success is sustaining yourself financially and personally, doing the thing that fires you up the most, and as a result, firing up other people, exciting other people.
I love it. I love it. So obviously we talked a lot about your new book, and Sue wanted to give a couple away.
Mm-hmm.
Sue, do you want to tell us how to do that?
Yeah, I think you should just comment book below, and then we will grab 2 names at random. And maybe we'll give people a little while to do that. What do you think, Yvonne? Give them a
Maybe,
time limit?
yeah, maybe through tomorrow, because we get, quite a bit of viewership, so I think that would work. So today and tomorrow, comment book, and then we'll go ahead and use those handy dandy number generators and pick a couple winners.
Awesome.
Sound good, guys? Oh, look, I already see book.
Book.
Is there anything else that you wanted to share with us before we wrap up about what's going on or how people can connect with you?
Oh, sure. Well, they can always connect on Instagram. I do answer DMs because I just love Instagram. It's such a neat way to connect with people. So I'm there often. And then my website, it's just my name now. It's susanmcleary.com, and my book page is there. We're giving away actually a pre-order bonus gift. So if you pre-order and then just fill out a really simple little blurb on my website there, then you receive 20% off any one online class. So it's a nice way for people who are new to the online classes to check out what I'm up to.
Very good. Yeah. Here's her website, susanmcleary.com. Definitely connect with her. And this was amazing, Sue. Thank you so much for coming on the show with us today. I hope that you had fun. Yes.
Yeah, thank you guys so much. I love the questions. And if we didn't answer all of them, I can pop back on and answer them.
Oh, thank you. Of course. Yeah. So guys, have any more questions, let us know. We'll shoot them over to Sue and we can get those answered. And up on the blog, where we'll be reposting the video replay and our podcast and have all the show notes for you guys. So that's a wrap on today's Mornings with Mayesh. I hope all of you guys that are in the retail biz have a super successful Valentine's Day holiday. I hope you guys, have a weekend filled with love after you were done with the holiday. And that's it. That's a wrap. We'll see you guys in 2 weeks. I have Ryan O'Neill here from Curate, going to be answering all of your kind of margins and pricing and fun questions like that. A lot of business stuff. So it'll be a good one. Stay tuned. All right. Take care. Thanks, guys. Bye, Sue.
Bye.